सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच सोचै सोच न होवे जे सोची लखवार चुपै चुप न होवे जे लाए हाल अवतार
भुखिया भुख न उतरी
जे बनना बुरिया पार सह सियाण पालक होए ता इक न चले नाल किस चिजारा होइए कि पूरे टुटे पाल हुक्म रजाई चलना नानक लिखिया नाल हुक्मी होवन आकार हुक्म न कहा जाए हुक्मी होवन जी हुक्म ले वड़ियाई हुक्मी उत्तम नीच हुक्म लिख दुख सुख पाइए एक ना हुक्मी बख्शीस एक हुक्मी सदा भवाइए हुक्मे अंदर सबको बाहर हुक्म ना कोय नानक हुक्मे जय बुझे ता हुक्मे कहना कोय गावे को तान होवे किसे तान गावे को दात जाने निशान गावे को बुराइयां चार गावे को विद्या विक्रम विचार गावे को साज करे तनखे गावे को जी लै फिर दे गावे को जापे दिसे दूर गावे को वेखे हादरा दूर कथना कथी न आवे तोट कत कत कथी कोटि कोट कोट देंगा देलन दे तक पाए जुगा जुगंतर खाए खाए हुक्मी हुक्म चलाए राह नानक विकसे वे परवाह साचा साहिब साच नाए आख्या पाओ अपार आखे मंगे दे दात करे दातार फिर के अगे रखिए जितने से दरबार मोह के बोलन बोलिए जिस सुंदर प्यार अमृत वेला सच नाओ बढ़ियाए विचार कर्मी आवे कपड़ा नगरी मोक द्वार नानक एवे जानिए सब आपे सचियार थापिया न जाए कीता न होए आपे आप निरंजन सोए जिनसे व्यातन पाया मार नानक गाविय गुनी निदान गाविय सुनिए मन रखिए पाओ दुख पर हर सुख कर ले जाए गुरमुख नादम गुरमुख वेदम गुरमुख रया समाए गुर ईश्वर गुर गोरख वर्मा गुर पार्वती माई जे हो जाना आका नाई कहना कथ न जाए गुरा एक दे बुझाई सबना जिया का एक दाता सोया जिसना जाए
बुझाई सबना जिया का एक दाता सो मैं
जिसना जाए वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
So every year we always go over the translation of the first few bodies of Japji Sahib. So today we'll be starting with Mool Mantar. This is my first time doing it here at camp, so please we'll just maafi if I make any mistakes. I'm still learning as well. So I just am honored to be here to share my thoughts that I've collected from a lot of different sevadars, and I'm excited to share my reflections on Mool Mantar. So does anyone know where in Japji Sahib Mool Mantar is?
At the beginning.
It's at the very beginning of Japji Sahib. And does anybody know what the Guru Granth Sahib Ji starts with?
एक ओंकार
Ik Onkar, and it starts with Mool Mantar. So we know it obviously has to be important for some reason, right? It's the first thing we do in the morning. It's the first part of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, so it has to be important in some way. So if we break down the meaning of Mool Mantar, does anybody know what Mool means? Does anyone know what Mantar means? Message, yeah. So Mool means primary or root, and Mantar means message. So it's basically the primary message or the origin message or the first message that Guru Sahib is trying to give us. So if we look at Mool Mantar, there's lots of different words. Does anybody know what Mool Mantar actually is, what it's actually describing? Yeah, it's describing the characteristics and the qualities of Vaiguruji. So if we start with Ik Onkar, does anybody know what Ik means? One, yeah. Does anybody know what Onkar means? Jinkar? So Ik Onkar together means, a lot of the times people will say it means one God, and that sometimes creates the picture that there's this one God sitting in the clouds above us telling us what to do. But in Sikhi, that's not what we believe. We believe that Ik Onkar, that there's one divine force that's within all that is part of all of us and that we are all a part of. It's not that there is one God that's separate from all of us, it's that we are part of that one force that's in every single person and every single part of creation. So sometimes it's helpful to look at Gurbani when we are looking at what Mool Mantar actually means. There's this really nice shabad that goes, Sab Gobind hai, Gobind bin nahi koi, Sut ek man sat sahans jaise, ut pot prab soy. And what this shabad is telling us is that there's one creator, right, that's woven into the creation, that's part of the creation. And we'll revisit this when we talk about Garta Puran, but this is basically telling us that Vaiguruji is within all of us. Vaiguruji isn't separate from us. Vaiguruji is part of all of us. And that's really important when we try to remember Ik Onkar, that we are remembering that Ik Onkar means that we are all one, that there's no separation between me and the next person, or the next person and the next person. It means that we are all the same, created by the same creator. Next we have Satnam. Does anyone know what Sat means? Sabreen Kaur? True. And what does Nam mean? Name, yeah. So literally it means true name, but does anybody have any idea what true name actually means? Harsuab Singh?
Vaiguru's name is true.
Vaiguru's name is true. And oftentimes in this world, we're surrounded by a lot of different illusions and a lot of different lies and a lot of different things that take us further from what's actually true. But at the end of the day, Mool Mantar is telling us that Vaiguruji is true, right? We're surrounded by so many complex things, so many things that try to confuse us, but Vaiguruji is the only truth in this world that keeps us grounded in what's actually true and what's not false. So next we have Karta Purik. If we go to the next slide, we see the same Shabad, right? Sut ek man sat sahans jase ut pot prab soy. The creator is part of the creation. So sometimes when you bake a cake, you can bake it and you're the creator, and then the cake is done, right? You're not part of the cake. That'd be weird. So the creator is part of the creation. Same thing with, I remember when I was a little kid at camp, Amarjit uncle always used to tell us, Steve Jobs created the iPhone, but Steve Jobs isn't in the iPhone. The difference is that Vaiguruji created us, but Vaiguruji is also part of us as well. So there's no separation, just like we talked about for Ik Onkar. Next is Nirpal. Does anybody have any idea how we find the definition of words like Nirpal? Hanji.
Maybe by breaking.
Yeah, we break them down. So does anybody know what Nir means? Harsuab Singh? Not. Does anyone know what Bal means? Sabreen Kaur? So Nirpal, Nir is like the opposite or not, and Bal means fear. So one thing I like to think about is, just like we talked about for Ik Onkar, if we're all one, if Vaiguruji is with all of us, how could Vaiguruji be scared of themselves? Right? How can you be scared of yourself? So Nirpal is telling us that that Vaiguruji is without fear, because how can Vaiguruji be fearful of themselves? If everything is in Vaiguruji's creation, then how could Vaiguruji be afraid of themselves? The same concept applies to Nirvad. So does anybody remember what Nir means? Not. Does anyone know what Vad means? Harman Singh.
Hate.
Yes, hate. So it's the same thing. If Vaiguruji is all one and we are all part of Vaiguruji's creation, how could Vaiguruji hate their own creation? That doesn't make any sense. How can you hate yourself? Okay, so just like we talked about, we're going to break down Akal Murit. Does anybody know what Akal means? Timeless. Yeah, Akal means timeless. Does anybody know what Murit means? Jindkor? It's like a forum. Does anybody know who Zahir-ud-Din Muhammad is? Raise your hand if you know who Zahir-ud-Din Muhammad is. Does anybody know who Guru Arjan Sahib Ji was? Raise your hand if you know who Guru Arjan Sahib Ji was. So they both existed at the same time, but the difference between them is Guru Sahib is timeless. Guru Sahib existed then and Guru Sahib exists now, and Guru Arjan Sahib Ji's legacy still lives on now. And so that's what being timeless really means, is that across all different time zones, across all different time periods, Guru Sahib still exists, and Guru Sahib is still there with us. So does anybody know what June means? Yeah, June means like a sort of life form typically outside of being a human life form. Does anybody know when you add an "-ada" in front of a word, what that does to the word? Yeah, it makes the opposite. So Juni basically is talking about the cycle of life and death. So you get born, and then you die, and then you are born again, and then you die, and then you're born again, and then you die. And so then putting an "-ada" in front of that means that you're taking it away from that. So Vaiguji, it doesn't get born and then die and then born and then die. Vaiguji is, like we talked about, timeless. Vaiguji exists at all times. Vaiguji doesn't have to go through that cycle over and over and over again, just like we do. Does anybody know how Vaiguji was born? Bismarcker? Yeah, Vaiguji wasn't born. So many of us were born from a parent, or two parents actually, and that's how humans are born. But Vaiguji wasn't born from a human. Vaiguji was self-created. Vaiguji was born by themselves. And it's really hard to understand that, because how can someone be born without being born? But that just goes to show that Momantar is describing something or someone that isn't human. Vaiguji isn't human, so Vaiguji isn't going to have human qualities. So that's something that we need to understand, is that a lot of these explanations, they're a good way to explain Vaiguji, but it's not going to make sense to them, make sense to us. Sometimes I don't even understand what Sapang means. How can someone really be Sapang? But we have to have faith in Vaiguji and faith in Guru Sahib that this is who Vaiguji is, and it's up to us to understand that. So how can we understand all of these qualities of Guru Sahib? We understand them through Gur Prasad, through the Guru's blessings. And so the only way to truly understand and be able to implement Moolmantar and to continue to work towards having these qualities of Moolmantar within us is Gur Prasad. And by getting Gur Prasad, we do that by doing our das, by working each day and working our lives so that we can be blessed by Gur Prasad. So does anyone know who Michael Jackson was? He seemed to have a really big legacy, right? Like, people say he's like the king of pop, that he exists now, that he's timeless, or that, like, even though he died, his legacy will live on forever. But that's not really true, because there was a time before Michael Jackson, there was a time while there was Michael Jackson, and there's a time after Michael Jackson. But he isn't really going to be there through all those times. But the difference between Michael Jackson and Vaiguji, even though there's a lot of differences, one of the main differences is that Japji Sahib tells us, Ad Sach, Jugad Sach, Happy Sach, Nanak Husni Sach. So at the beginning of time, Ad Sach, Vaiguji existed, and Vaiguji was true. Jugad Sach, through all of the times, Vaiguji existed, and Vaiguji was true. Happy Sach, even now, Vaiguji exists, and Vaiguji is true. Nanak Husni Sach, Vaiguji will continue to be true forever, unlike Michael Jackson, who is only true in his specific time. So my main takeaways from Moolmantar is that there are so many different qualities to describe Vaiguji. Some of them we'll never be able to understand. But with Gur Prasad, may we be able to continue to work towards understanding Moolmantar and work towards having these qualities in our daily lives. Does anybody have any questions?
Quiz tomorrow.
Yeah, there'll be a quiz tomorrow, and if you don't do well, you don't get dessert.
No prashad for you.
If there are no questions, thank you for listening. And if you ever have any other questions, you can ask me or any other Sevadar. We'll be happy to talk.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Are there any volunteers who would like to do a shabad? Sahai Kaur?
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਹ ਜਾਗੇ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਹ ਜਾਗੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਹ ਜਾਗੇ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ 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 ਏਕ ਨ ਪਈਆ ਗੁਣ ਕਰ ਏਕ ਨ ਪਈਆ ਗੁਣ ਕਰ ਤੋਵਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਹ ਜਾਗੇ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ 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 ਇਉ ਕਿਉ ਕੰਤ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਹੋਵਾ ਸ਼ੋਹ ਜਾਗੇ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਹੋਵਾ ਸ਼ੋਹ ਜਾਗੇ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਹ ਜਾਗੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਹ ਜਾਗੇ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ ਪਰ ਸੋਵਾ ਹੋ ਨਿਸ पावा क्या जाना क्या होए गरमाई हर दर्शन में रहन न जाई हर दर्शन में रहन न जाई मेरा शोह जागे मेरा शोह जागे कौन से परसों कौन से परसों कौन से परसों मेरा शहजाद प्रेम न चाखिया मेरी तृष्णा बुझाई गया सुनो मन तन पछतानी अजय सो जागो आस पे आस पहले उदासी रहो निरासी अजय सो जागो आस पे आस पहले उदासी रहो निरासी मेरा शोह जागे मेरा शोह जागे कौन से परसों 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 मेरा शोह जागे में कोई करे सिगार तो का ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। I just want to spend a few minutes with you all, just to make sure to remind all of us, all the Shabbat and Kirtan we are doing is why. Why are we doing this? What do you, let me stand up that I can see your face. I just want to stress few things, that especially the new board also, all of us. Why do we do, how many of you understand, why do we do Kirtan Shabad Path here? Any idea? The reason I wanted to point this out, our aim should be clear in our mind. ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹਾਂ ਦੀਵਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਕਾਰ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਪਏ ਹਾਂ, ਪਾਠ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਪਏ ਹਾਂ. Why are we doing it? Are we just passing time? We are here to learn from our Guruji. And why do we need to learn from Guruji? So that we can have an easy life. Now, easy life, is the life easy? No. We did 2 Shabads here in which there was the word called Pavjal. Did you pay attention to the screen, Putro? What does Pavjal mean? Oh, okay. Yes, sorry, didn't see you. Hanji Putra? Ocean of fire. So we should remember this. We are here at the camp so that we can pass this ocean, go across this ocean easily. We have no choice. When we are born, we have to live till we die. We have no choice. We have to pass through it. And Guruji is reminding us that this is Pavjal. It's a terrifying ocean if you pay attention to it. Why did we call it terrifying ocean? Anybody? Because there are ups and downs, just like the waves in the ocean. If we are in the ocean and the waves are heavy, what happens? We drown. And we don't want to drown. We don't want to drown. We want to make this life easier, successful, because that's only the way is peaceful. So remember, keep this aim in your heart that this is what I have come here for. I am not come here to pass a week and just spend time. We have come here to achieve something. So please try to pay attention to the screen and pick up the words. If you have any difficulty to understand, try to ask. Ask any of the uncles. First thing we have to ask Guru Granth Sahib Ji to explain to us. Then whatever uncles and aunties know, discuss. So please remember those few things, pay attention, And then the other word which I want to talk it about is the Shabad he just sang. And before that too, first let me start the before part. Aaj jugaat bhaktan ka rakha, usat kar kar jiva. Vaheguruji is protector of those who remember. How do we remember Vaheguruji? Seeing Vaheguruji as the Mool Mantra was described to you, seeing Vaheguruji in all of us. And how does Vaheguruji protect Bhaktans? Because if we remember to see Vaiguruji in everything and everybody, we'll be nice, we'll be polite, we'll be friendly, we won't talk bad about others. And that's how Vaiguruji protects us. It's not going to be any magic that Vaiguruji is going to protect us. Vaiguruji protects us through us. So that's our aim. That's our aim, to so that we can have protection from Vaiguruji through Vaiguruji giving us that, Guruji teaching us the now. Okay? And the last part I want to say quickly, 1 minute, then we'll be ready to go. And as we said, that if we are Vaiguruji's Bhagat, then we just said, if I'm sleeping and my Vaiguruji is awake, as we talked about the Shabbat now, just now, before this, how are we going to be friends with Vaiguruji? How is Vaiguruji going to teach us? How is Vaiguruji will protect us? So we have to stay awake, always ready to learn, and always ready to change. Remember this. We have to change ourselves. We have to become nirpaho, nirvair, as you talked about. And if you practice those, then Vaiguruji is happy. If we are awake and listening, Vaiguruji is happy, and he'll protect us by giving us the strength to remember Vaiguruji's name and sing Vaiguruji in everybody and be friendly and helpful and get better. And then we're able to say, boy, this boy is good, this girl is good, these are good people. And that's why we have an easy life and go across this ocean of worldly, terrifying ocean of this life, which we have no choice. We have to live. And another thing before I finish this, we are all alone. Remember, this puzzle we won't be able to cross because my mom and dad will help me, or my money will help me. I'm me alone. I am alone in this world. I am responsible for all my actions. And if I don't do actions right, then this puzzle is going to be terrifying us more and more and more, and we have a terrible life. And we want a good life. We want to take Guruji's teaching. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. So that always pay attention to the screen.
Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. So let's go over a couple housekeeping things real quick. Today, hopefully everybody slept okay. If you didn't sleep okay today, you'll sleep good tonight. Today we're going to go to the park. And what that means is that we're going to go off-site. So what I would like for you to do is right after lunch, before we start Punjabi class, go ahead and change into your shorts or whatever it is that you want to wear. It's actually pretty pleasant all week long, but if you want to change for sports time, then is the time to do it. Because after we have nap time, rest time, we'll get up and go ahead and go. I need everybody to try to be as orderly and rational as possible when we start loading people into cars so that we can get you there as fast as we can. If we're having to yell over you and tell you to be quiet, then it just delays us getting there. So everybody come together and figure out a way to just stay calm and get in the car. Once we get there, we can get all of our wiggles out. So park today, park is for everybody. So everyone's going. There will be other days where we don't necessarily have to go, but this is the one that we all go to. All right. One other thing about bunk beds. I'd like for you all to consider, when you come here, everybody says, I need the bottom bunk. I need the bottom bunk. And there's a lot of requests to me to make sure that you get the bottom bunk. It has become quite unreasonable, truthfully. I slept in these same bunks when I was your age. And if I can do it, you can certainly do it. So figure out a way amongst the four of you within your cubicle. Two people have got to sleep on the bottom. Half of you have got to do it. Think to yourself, I've got to be in that half. And figure out, I get that we wiggle, but you're not the only ones that wiggle. I've been here for 35 years. I can only remember one person who's fallen off the bunk, and she's sitting right in front of me. She seems normal and healthy and fine. So you can do it. if anybody else can do it, you can do it too. Take that bottom bunk. Next year, please don't ask me. I need the bottom bunk, all right? Okay, now, we're going to talk about etiquette. What etiquette means is your manners. So there is a way that we have to behave in polite society. When we go to school, there's an expectation of how we're supposed to do things. And when we go out to a restaurant, for instance, we're not allowed to do whatever it is that we want or dress however we want. Same thing here, although much more importantly here. If your friends go to church at school, you know, your school friends, if you see them walking around on a Sunday, we see that especially in the South. We know that they dress a certain way and they have a certain way that they are allowed to behave and not allowed to behave. Same thing is true here. So we're going to talk about that today, as soon as my first slide is up. There we go. Oh, second slide. All right. So can anyone tell me what the word darbar means? It's a pretty easy one. How about some of these older kids who've been coming for a long time and should know? Hanji Manat Gaur. Court. Okay, so let's pretend in our minds that we see like a judge. We've seen it on TV or in movies before. We see a judge and somebody who's not on, well, we can say somebody on trial, and we see the jury, and we see all of those things. So the court is where very important things happen. And that's essentially what's going on here, is that there's an extremely important thing happening. And back in the day, during the Guru's times, the most important thing that was happening was that the king or the queen was sitting up at the front and was leading things. And everything was addressed to the king or queen. So where's the king or queen? Can everybody take a look at it right now? Yeah, there we go. Guru Sahib right there. So the court is literally a gate. You can pretend an open gate that you see, and it's open all the time. And the point of this is that to be able to get to see the king or the queen, you have to walk through this open gate. The gate's open and access 24/7, and it's there to you whenever you need to have it. And Guru Sahib's purpose is to preside over the Sangat and to impart upon you some wisdom, lots and lots of wisdom. So because of all of what I've said, this is a really formal setting, and we need to make sure that we act as such and pretend that and make sure that we are being very respectful. All right, so we've got a bunch of different parts to it. And again, these parts emulate Guru Sahib's times, where we had a chandoa, just like we have one now. So the chandoa is sitting up right above, up top there. And then a palki. So Sajpal is sitting right behind the palki. There's a wooden platform underneath. The Chor Sahib, Sajpal Singh, can you show us the Chor Sahib? Can you do it for us? There we go, there it is. And Rumale are these pretty decorations. All of this is to bring attention to the fact that the queen and the king is sitting right here. That is the purpose of all of this. It was the purpose during the Guru Sahib's times. And when Guru Gobind Singh Ji formalized Guru Granth Sahib as the next Guru, he wanted to impart that this is just as much a king or a queen as anyone else is. And we have to treat it as such. That's why we have all of these things in place. Before we enter, everybody's got to make sure that their heads are covered. And I want to make sure, I know for everyone, but particularly for the girls, make sure that our rumali are sitting nicely on our heads. We're not trying to walk in like this. That's not the point of it. The point is to actually cover your head, not to look fashionable while we do it. And our hair is always tied up. So guts always, whenever you go to Gurdwara, whether you're home, whether you're here, whether you're doing matha tek, we always have our hair in a gut or a juda or something or another that it's tied up appropriately. We always take off our shoes. Socks is a little controversial. I will leave it for here. You can leave your socks on here at camp. It's okay with me. Make sure you wash your hands. So the point is that, again, we're being respectful when we're entering. And we keep this whole space as clean as possible. So last night, as soon as you all left, there was lots of prasad on the ground. Make sure before you leave, check your area. If you drop some prasad on the ground, pick it up. You can stick it in your mouth. Nothing's going to happen to you. It's all right. We walk into to the darbar. We always keep our hands folded at all times. And we do matha tek. The English translation for matha tek is this fancy word called prostration. And that's essentially what we're doing. And the point of matha tek is that we're literally giving our head, giving ourselves to the Guru. That's why we do it. We actually bow forward to say, this head belongs to you. We never bow to any pictures of any sort. In fact, we never bow to anyone but our Guru, anyone or anything but our Guru. So if at home you have pictures of the gurus up in your house or other things, pictures or statues or anything like that, those things are actually prohibited or forbidden in Sikhi. We don't bow to those at all. And sit quietly. That's a tough one, isn't it? Sitting quietly and avoiding distractions. We've got a nice little distraction that we've taken away from you for the week, but lots of our parents still have it. That is a huge distraction for us, and it takes away from the purpose of being in darbar. So make sure you tell your parents too, the point of the phone is not to be on it. All right, so we talked about matha taking. That's the fancy word for it. There's lots of different, okay, Mandeep Uncle's asking me to go ahead. There's lots of different ways of doing matha take, and you'll see a lot of these in Gurdwara. But this is a common theme amongst lots of different religions. This is not unique to our religion by any means. Sometimes you'll actually see people laying all the way down, and any form of them is okay, depending on what your body is capable of. For every child in this room, full regular matha take number 5 is what we expect. Okay, we can go on. Okay, life hack here. I know a lot of you think that Divan is extremely long, but it is long if you sit there and don't participate. And if you participate, it's really not long at all. About an hour and 20 minutes is not bad by any means. And there's an easy way to get through this. When a Shabad is being sung, like Uncle Ji just said, every time a Shabad is being sung, sing along. I was watching you all before I got up to do this. Not a lot of people were singing. By the end of the week, everyone will be singing, but I challenge you to do it tonight. When the Shabad is being sung, go ahead and sing it. There's really no point in us sitting here otherwise. And when the screen's got the English on it, it's got the Gurmukhi on it, and it also has the translation. So for every line, pick one word that you don't know the meaning of and learn it. That'll make each line and each Shabad go faster, and it'll make you learn to appreciate it, like Uncle Ji was saying. That's the point of the Kirtan, is for us to understand. If you're going to come and do Chaur Seva, please just do it in between Shabads. And we don't have to matha take to the Chaur Seva, because what is the one thing that we matha take to? It's Guru Sahib. Okay, I'm ready. Look, there's a little Arzoi Gaur. All right, during Ardas. We're going to talk about Ardas a little bit later this week, but we don't stand with our hands folded down like this. Okay? That's not, if Guru Gobind Singh Ji was standing in front of you, would you do it? No. So pretend Guru Gobind Singh standing in front of you. Pretend that Guru Nanak Dev Ji is right in front of you. You'd stand there at full attention and you'd be like, this is super cool that I get to meet him. That should be the perpetual thought in our minds, that I am so fortunate that I get to meet my Guru every second that I am at camp and every moment of every day. And when we finish Nanak Naam Chardikala, Tere Pane Sarbatta Pala, wait till the sentence is finished. And when we do Jaikara at the end, wait till that is finished and before you do Matha Tek. All right, Hukam. Hukam is probably, in my opinion, is the single most important thing that we do, because in my mind, I sit there and I close my eyes and I actually picture Guru Angad Dev Ji speaking to me, or Guru Arjan Dev Ji speaking to me and saying this to me. Aaj Jugad Pagdan Ka Rakha. Those exact words, I picture the Guru Sahib saying those things. And I think that helps me visualize the importance of Hukam, and hopefully it will for you as well. But this is the point where if you've got to say to your counselor, I got to go to the bathroom, or if you've got to scratch your nose, or whatever it is you got to do, this is not the time to do it. This is the time we are perfectly attentive, and we are paying attention because Guru Sahib is talking to you directly. And after that, we do Kara Prasad. Oh, look at that little Navas and little Shan and Simran. So cute. During Kara Prasad, we always take Prasad, the deg, with both hands, not just one. And don't take it in your napkin. Take it in your hands, then you can put it in your napkin if you'd like to. Make sure that you finish it. Throw your napkin in the trash. Don't leave it for me to pick up afterwards. And don't spill any Prasad on the sheets. They've got to last all week long. All right. Now, in Rat Maryada, there are very specific things that when we read through them, they sound really silly to us. The reason they sound silly is because we've gotten rid of some of these traditions, and to us they seem so foreign. But they really are these silly things that people used to have. Like the funniest one to me is rubbing your nose against the wall or the platform. I've never seen that before. But if you do see it, it's specifically not allowed. And you can read the rest of them as well. Another big one is don't draw your chunni over your face. I think that's an important one for the women to recognize. Okay, who has questions for me or concerns about this specifically? All right, now I'm going to give you a couple of hacks. When we are sitting here, because I know you all say it's a long time to sit, I've heard that many times from you all, there's a way to sit that helps you get through it easier. And it's all about posture, all right? Ah, yes, look at you all doing it just as I say it. How nice. Look how smart you look now. Okay, so when we are sitting, the point is to stack our spine on top of itself. So we don't, if you took a spaghetti noodle, and if you tried to bend it, or maybe if you took a pipe cleaner, you all know what pipe cleaners look like. The strongest way to have a pipe cleaner is standing straight up. But if we bend the pipe cleaner and then try to put something on top of it, it's going to keep bending forward like this, right? The point is that you stack your spine on top of itself. The easiest way to do that is to rock back and forth a little bit till you find that point and you're like, oh yeah, I can feel it, that my body's not working so hard to sit. And we're all sitting Chonkri Ma, right? This bone is called your femur. And your femur is what's supposed to take all of your weight, not your butt. It seems funny to say that. We feel like we're sitting on our butts, right? But actually we're sitting on the whole thing. We're sitting on our butt and this femur. And if you rock a little bit forward and backward, you'll feel it where you say, wait a second, now my butt's not so sore. It doesn't feel so numb anymore. And that's how you know you've got the proper posture. Roll your shoulders back and stick your chin back a little bit. And that's how we look attentive to our guru. That's how we look pleasing to our guru. And that's how we can last a little longer, by also picking out one word with each line that you don't know and memorizing it. All right? Okay, no other questions. Don't forget to change right after Punjabi class. We're also going to have a ramp ball sign-up sheet. So for everyone that would like to play, I'd love to see some of the girls playing with us. I'd love to see some Group D and Group E playing as well. There'll be a sign-up sheet so that we can try to organize things a little bit better. Excuse me, change after lunch, not Punjabi class. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
श्री भगवती जी की पातशाही दसवीं प्रीतम भगवती सिमर के गुरु नानक ले गया है। फिर अंगद गुरते अमरदास रामदास से होए सहाय। अर्जुन हर गोबिंद सिमरो श्री हर राय। श्री हर कृष्ण ध्याये जिस डिठे सब दुख जाए। तेग बहादुर सिमरिए कर नौ निदावे थाय। सब थाय हना जी सहाय। दसवें पातशाह श्री गुरु गोबिंद सिंह जी महाराज सब थाय हना जी सहाय। दसा पातशाह दी जो श्री गुरु ग्रंथ साहिब जी के पाठ दर्शन दिदार ध्यान तरके खालसा जी साहेब बोलना है जी। आप जी के पंच प्यारे चार साहिबजादे 40 मुक्ते हटियां जपिया तपिया जिना नाम जपिया वन चकिया तेग चलाई तेग पाई तेग के अंडित कीता तिना प्यारा सचैन दी परम पवित्र कमाई दा त्याग करके खालसा जी साहेब बोलना है जी। जिना सिंगा सिंगनिया ने धर्म हेत सीस दिते बन बन कटवाए खोपरियां लोहाइयां चरकरियां ते चढ़े आर्या नाल चढ़ाए गए। गुरुद्वारियां दी सेवा ਲਈ ਕੁਰਬਾਨੀਆਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਧਰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਾਰਿਆ। ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕੈਸਾ ਸਵਾਸਾ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਭਾਏ ਤਿਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਕਮਾਈ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਪੰਜਾਂ ਤਖਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਰਬਤ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਹੈ ਜੀ। प्रीतम सरबत खालसा जी की अरदास है। सरबत खालसा जी को वाहिगुरु 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 चितावे। चितावन का सदका सर्व सुख होए जहाँ जहाँ खालसा जी साहेब तहाँ तहाँ रचाए। देख देख पते बिरज की बैज पंथ की जी श्री साहिब जी सहाय खालसा जी के बोल वाए बोलो जी। सिखां नू बख्शो सिखी दान केस दान वैद दान विवेक दान विसार दान भरोसा दान दाना सिर दान नाम दान श्री अमृतसर साहिब जी के दर्शन स्नान पाठ चौकिया चंड बुंगे जुग जुग अतल धर्म का जयकार बोलना है जी। सिखा दा मनी वा मत उच्ची मत पत का राखा आप वाहिगुरु। हे अकाल पुरख अपने पंथ ते सदा सहाय दाता जियो। श्री ननकाना साहिब ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਗੁਰਤਾਵਾਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਪੰਥ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਛੋੜਿਆ ਗਏ ਖੁੱਲੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਾ ਸਮਾਲ ਦਾ ਦਾਨ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ। हे निमाणिया दे मान निताणिया दे तार निवत ने नियो सतगुरु जियो। आप जी के जोर अरदास बेनती तो जय जी। जपजी साहिब दे पंच पौड़ी शब्द कीर्तन ਅਤੇ 6 पौड़ी आनंद साहिब की अरदास है। आप जी के जोर कड़ा प्रसाद की देख हाजिर है लंगर प्रसाद हाजिर है। दर प्रवान हुआ प्रसाद सात संगत तो छुड़तान दी आज्ञा बख्शो। हुक्मनामे बख्शो हुक्मनामे ते चलन दी बलबुद्धि बख्शो। सही सज्जन गुरमत प्यारे में जनाम रिया तेरा नाम चितावे नानक नाम चढ़ी कला तेरे बाणे सर्वदा भला। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। तोरा आज्ञा पे अकाल की तबे चलायो पंथ सब सिखन को हुक्म है। गुरु मानियो ग्रंथ जी मानियो प्रगट गुरां की दे जो प्रभु को मिल बोझ है वो शब्द में ले। खालसा बाकी रह न कोई बात कोई सब लेंगे बचे शर्म जो होए। बोले सोनिहा वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा
तल गुर सेवियै अहनिस सहज सुभाए। दर्शन परसे गुरु के जन्म मरण दुख जाए। होवै सिफत खसम भी नुरे अर्शों पुरसों चढ़ियै। बिरठे पातशाह जन्म भी कटियै। सज्जन सच्चा पातशाह सिर शान दे जिस पास बैठिया सोईए सबना दा विसार।
तनासरी महला तीजा कर दूजा चौप दे ओंकार सतगुर प्रसाद। एहो तन खट ना निखटै ना अखुट ना निखुटै ना जाए। पूरा सतगुर दिया दिखाए अपने सतगुर को सतबल जाई। गुर कृपा ते हर मन वसाई ਸੇ ਤਨਵੰਤ ਹਰ ਨਾਮ ਲਿਵ ਲਾਏ ਗੁਰ ਪੂਰੈ ਹਰ ਤਨ ਪ੍ਰਗਾਸਿਆ ਹਰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਤੇ ਵਸੈ ਮਨ ਆਏ ਰਹਾਉ ਅਵਗੁਣ ਕਾਟ ਗੁਣ ਹਿਰਦੈ ਸਮਾਏ ਪੂਰੈ ਗੁਰ ਕੈ ਸਹਿਜ ਸੁਭਾਏ ਪੂਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਸਾਚੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਸੁਖ ਮਨ ਅੰਤਰ ਸਹਿਜ ਸਮਾਣੀ ਏਕ ਅਚਰਜ ਜਨ ਦੇਖੋ ਪਾਈ ਦੁਬਿਧਾ ਮਾਰ ਹਰ ਮਨ ਵਸਾਈ ਨਾਮ ਅਮੋਲਕ ਨਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਜਾਏ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਵਸੈ ਮਨ ਆਏ ਸਭ ਮਹਿ ਵਸੈ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਏਕੋ ਸੋਏ ਗੁਰਮਤੀ ਘਟ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਹੋਏ ਸਹਿਜ ਜਿਨ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜਾਣ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਮਿਲੈ ਮਨ ਮਾਨਿਆ ਸਹਿਜ ਜਿਨ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਜਾਣ ਪਛਾਣਿਆ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਮਿਲੈ ਮਨ ਮਾਨਿਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮਾ from ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਭਾਈ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ important things I just want to talk about before we start the translation for all of us to understand, especially the new campers, that when we do ardas to Vaheguru Ji, as you saw it, we all stood up and do ardas, that is the real prayer or request we did to ardas, to Vaheguru Ji. And then Vaheguru Ji, through the Guruji, responds to us the result of what he decides on what petition we came up with. And that is what Hukamnama is. As Madhu Kaur Ji was telling you, that's the most important part because Guruji is now speaking to us, straight to us, to me. So my responsibility is to pay extreme attention and listen to it because that's where the teaching is. In the Shabad which Guruji from Guru Granth Sahib Ji when we read, always pay attention to where the Rahau line is. Because the Rahau line is the central theme of the Shabad and the rest of the paragraphs are further explanation of the Shabad. In this Shabad, which Guru Amar Das Ji so kindly gave it to us, the teaching, Se Tanmant Har Naam Liv Lae, Gur Pure Har Tan Pragasya, Har Kirpate Vase Mane Aaye. Now, key word is Tanmant here. Tanmant means rich. Now, we have a different definition of being rich. We think we have more money, possessions, cars, things like that. We call them rich. Guruji's definition of rich is Se Tanmant Har Naam Liv Lae. Jinhane Vaheguru Ji know their live, their attachment, their connection have made to Vaheguru Ji. Now, why did Guruji change the definition which Bird believes of Tanmant? Is because the worldly riches are there today and they not be there tomorrow. Whereas Vaheguruji's Naam, remembering Vaheguruji as we talked about earlier too, seeing Vaheguruji in everybody, all those virtues of Vaheguruji, if we very attentively listen to them, those stick with us all our life and everywhere we go, and that can keep us more happy and prosperous and nice than the worldly money. That's why Guruji says, Se Tanmant Lae. And next line Guruji is telling us, where do we get this? We can earn money and become the rich with money, but we cannot earn the good qualities which will stay with us all the time. Unless, as the Shabad we read today, in which very clearly it said that these things do not come without a guru, a teacher. When we have a good guru and good teacher, that's where we get the Gurpura. Pure Guru ne, some complete Guru ne, which is Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji for us, Hartan Pragasya, made us aware of what the real Tan is by Guruji's Naam. And with his grace, his kindness, if we say awake, as we read the Shabbat today, that if Guruji is speaking and we are sleeping, Guruji can do Kirpa. Kirpa is our attention. Kirpa te vase mane aaye. Waheguru ji di kirpa naal, kindness de naal, sade man cha ke vasdi hai. Rest of the Shabbat is explaining this whole thing, that this, the Tan of the virtues in us are, Waheguru ji has plenty of them to give it to us, but Guruji let us realize it. And how do we get it? That's the important part too. Avgan kaat Gurudev Samay. We have all bad qualities in us: Kam, Krodh, Loh, Moh, Hankar, Jhoot, Ninda, Alas. Alas is the first one, I think, in my mind, which I have a lot. Laziness. Remember, the laziness has to go. Oh, Guru Katke, only then the virtues can come in, and Guruji's teachings can come in. And in the last line, Guruji says, I will not take too much time. Sahaje jin prabh jaan pachaniya, Nanak naam mile man maniya. This, then through Guruji's teachings, once we understand and realize why Guruji is there doing everything, and then through Guruji's teaching, we get the teaching of Naam, and when it comes and lives in us, our body, follow this, that's what brings all the happiness in our life, and that is the real Tanvant, that's the real virtues. Virtues are the real Tanvant. Now, 1 second before we finish this. We think our makeups, our putting the clothes and all that impresses people. Don't forget what real impression whenever we go for an interview is what is in our heart, what are the qualities we are carrying. So we should always pay attention to improving ourselves instead of spending 1 hour, half an hour tying our turban and kapde and doing our tie and makeup and all that. We should spend more time to improve our body, make our man agree with Vaheguruji's Naam, and that will take us across the ocean of worldly travel. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.